Hi guys, welcome back at MX-5 Info. It is inspection time for Project Silver Blues behind me. By the end of this video, you should be able to have a good understanding of what is good, bad and potentially ugly on this car. I've done some preparation work, so I've put the car on jack stands, I've removed the wheels and the front fender liners. And this will give us a much better view on things that we want to evaluate, especially on the rust side. But we will go over the exterior, the interior, the engine bay, and then maybe some other things that we come across to determine what the action plan will be. The plan to get this car back on the road in a few months or so from now, and to get it back to original, or OEM Plus, as I called it last time. Let's start with the hardtop. I think overall it's in good condition. It is dirty, but it needs a clean, maybe a polish, and then it will be okay. Then, towards the rest of the car, here on the rear bumper, there are a few damages over here and over here. This will not buff out, it's too deep. And other than that, I think the rear bumper is pretty much okay. No other damages as far as I can see. Then we have the boot lid, which from the top looks perfectly fine. When we look at the bottom, I do see that there's some tape here. I'm not sure why that was, if that is an attempt to stop water from entering the boot. It could be that they've used it for that, but then probably it will leak somewhere, for example, around this brake light. Then when you look at the fixtures for the license plate lighting, then it's always worth looking if that edge is still okay. And as we can see over here, it does already start rusting, or already it's normal, but it's an attention point. So we might want to do something to add some more protection there. Then on this side of the car, there is some rust on this arch that will need to be addressed. But what I did notice earlier is that there's a lot of, you can see it already, a lot of mud in these edges, and that is causing these problems. So you want to keep those clean, guys. That's a bit too much. That will promote the rust. So we don't want that. This will need to be addressed at some point. It's still hard, but you can see what's going on here. It's all mud, and that when it's wet, it is an excellent accelerator for rust. Okay, then on this side, on the door, let's see if we can find it here. There is a small ding in the door around here. Some work has been done on the sails. I'm not sure what the quality of the work is. There were no pictures available of when it was done. Other than that, I think overall the paint is in pretty good shape. Here at the front, and now we will also dive a bit underneath the car. This is typically the area where leaves will collect and also where mud will collect. And again, I'm not sure if we can see it here, but this is probably all, yeah, it's all mud. So this is where you normally don't come, but you have to take out those leaves that can collect here. And you can also see them from the inside. If you open the door, there you have the leaves collecting between the body and the wing. And those leaves have to be removed, otherwise your wing or fender will rust. On the front bumper, basically nothing wrong, some stone chip maybe. The same is true for the hood. It's in pretty good shape. Then we have a small damage over here on the wing. Or fender, I keep mixing it up. And again, here on this side we also see leaves collecting and probably a lot of mud again. So taking off those fender liners is pretty simple with a screwdriver, and then you can pop out the clips and can clean that area. So this over here, lots of leaves. We don't want those here. You could also unbolt the fender from underneath here, and then you can get some more space to get the dirt out. And also on this side, I don't see any particular damages. Again, the work here on the sill, I don't know if this is rust or that it's just more of this stone guard that was sprayed on. There is some sealant here in this section. It's not bad overall. On this side it looks a bit better. But now I think we should address the elephant in the room. Oh, I also see some damage here on the mirror, but it's minor. The rust issue. So why was this car not passing inspection anymore? Well, then we have to look over here. And these are the front chassis rails. And when you see rust over here, then basically that's the result of rust from the inside coming to the outside. So there's two different metal profiles that are forming one rail, basically. And the moist can get in between those two layers of the metal and will start rusting and pushing stuff out. So when you see it here, it's already done. When we take a look from underneath, then it's no discussion. This is a view from underneath the right side front chassis rail. And so this is your stabilizer bar. This is where the rust has gone through. And also over here is even worse. So they were correct not to have this car pass inspection, because this is the better side. So let's move over to the other side. So now we're back. Again, this is the stabilizer bar. And then over here we have the chassis rail. Pieces are falling off. It's completely open. And also over here, you can see that's gone. So here we can see it from the side. It doesn't even look that bad. I've seen a lot worse with the holes in it. But as you can see here, it is very, very crusty. So this section needs to be replaced and a new part needs to be welded in. A part that I almost missed is this area with the filler cap. It's just dirty, but other than that, yeah, I think this will clean up pretty good. We can have a quick look at the wheels as well. These are the original wheels that go with this special edition. They are terribly dirty, but Most of them don't have any curb damage, so expect these to clean up nicely. The tires are old, but there's still enough profile on it. There's no dry rot, but they are extremely old. They are 2016, so 10 years old already. Here on one of the wheels I have seen a small chip, but the other wheels are fine. Now let's have a look at the soft top. I think the soft top itself is in excellent condition. There's no real damage. There is some stains from bird droppings. But other than that, I do expect this to clean up pretty good. So if I were to buy a soft top and somebody offered me this, I would go for it. Very, very nice. So I will drop the top and then we can have a look inside and also test some functions, start the car, etc. On the inside of the car we can immediately see all the blue accents that work as a contrast color for the Syrian silver of the exterior. So we have blue leather seats and both of them are in pretty good condition. The leather has to be cleaned and needs some conditioner to make it soft. There's also this blue accent in the door cards and also on the gear knob, on the back of the gear knob, that side is blue. And for the steering wheel they also use blue for the top segment of the steering wheel. The rest is black and has the Nardi logo at the bottom. Then this design bar, from what I see, it is mounted incorrectly, so it should be a 180 degrees turned. So with this wind blocker on the back. But maybe they've done that so they could move the seats further back. I don't know. I might change this. I'm thinking about either this design bar with a soundboard in it, like other special editions, later special editions had. For example, the Unplugged and the Impulse. Or that we will do a wind blocker with speakers. Then on the inside here we have front fog lights, rear fog lights, the dimmer, and on the other side you have the switch for the power mirrors, power windows over here, heated seats, and the height adjustment for the headlights, then AC and the ventilation system, and then a JVC aftermarket radio. I will replace that for the original radio and then add a Bluetooth adapter. At least that's the plan. I have found the original radio, the black one, so that will go in. I will quickly start the car and then we'll take it from there. As you can see, the car has done 211,000 kilometers already, but it should. Battery is a bit weak. I did have it on a trickle charger a few days ago, so we might need a new battery. Let's have a look at the engine. This is the 1.8 version. There is some signs here on the valve cover that the car leaks around this area. So when you remove the oil filler cap, you can hear that there's pressure on this filler cap. That is bad news. It means that there's pressure on the crankcase, and that probably means that we need to replace piston rings, etc. So probably we'll take the head off and try to fix it from there when we take out the pistons. So this is definitely something that we need to address. The car is driving fine, but this is not what you want. Other than that, rust areas, typically here the reservoir for the power steering fluid is rusted. Now I can also show you where all these leaves come from. So the leaves that enter this area can leave this area down there in the corner and then move towards the area here in between the body and the fender. I will switch off the engine now. I will quickly rev it so you can see it does have a good throttle response. So overall I'm pretty happy with how the engine runs. And also when we have put it on the trailer or taken it off the trailer, we noticed that the clutch is fine, the brakes are fine, engine is running fine. It's just this pressure on the crankcase that will urge us to take action. Also, this was a bit of a surprise over here. You have the coolant reservoir. And when we opened it, we found out that there's nothing in there. But luckily there is coolant in the radiator and it looks good. It's green, it's bright. And also on the dipstick or in the oil filler cap, I did not notice anything weird that suggests that oil and coolant might have been mixing. But it really doesn't matter. When we have to take off the head of the engine, there will be a new head gasket anyway. Other than that, the car needs maintenance, so all of the fluids will be replaced. The fluid in the clutch master is pretty dark. For the brake fluid is a bit lighter, that's okay, but it will be replaced anyway. So that has to go on the list. And then stuff like this, rusty spots here as well, that we also want to address. Now we can also have a look underneath the car. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect underneath the car, but from what I've seen so far, it's mostly surface rust, which is quite normal for this age of the car. There's additional chassis bracing. That looks a bit worse, but those are removable parts, so I could replace them if I can find a better version of it. So here you have the chassis bracing that's gone bad, but the chassis rails here underneath the car are as straight as an arrow. So I'm very happy with that. There is some rust on the subframe, so that needs to be addressed as well. Also from here we get a pretty decent idea of what the car looks like from underneath. There is some work to be done, but nothing dramatic. A quick look at the condition of the brakes. I think overall it's not bad. There's still lots of meat left on these brake pads. In the rear it might be slightly different, a bit less. But there's no, here's a small lip, very minor lip on the rotor. Other side will then probably be the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same situation here, a very small lip. But replacing those is not that expensive. At the front there's no lip at all. Let's see if I can turn this. Yep. And here's the situation. I think the same is on the other side. So front better than the rear. Something else I noticed is the condition of this front fog light. It's full of dust underneath. It looks like it's completely burnt from the inside. It's not a big deal. I have the more recent version of these fog lights still lying around. So I will probably replace these for those. And also getting the DRL, Angel Eye and fog light combination would be an option. On the other side, this one still works. It's also looking tired and there's some dust underneath at the bottom of the glass, but like I said, it's not a big deal. So one more thing that I noticed during the inspection at the seller's house was that this seat, the driver's seat, when I switch on the seat heating, then the light does not light up. So it does for the passenger side, but it does not light up for the driver's side. So probably we need to fix that one. Well, some other good news is that the AC still works. So there's still sufficient pressure in the system for the AC compressor to kick in, the clutch to kick in, and the AC to work. It is blowing cold. One more thing I want to test is whether these drain holes are open. This is next to the seat belt. At the bottom there's a small hole where the water should be able to drain down below the sills. If that's blocked, that will cause rust in the sills. So I can try pouring in some water. Maybe that's the first thing we should do. Let's see if something happens underneath the car. So that one's fine. Let's have a look at the other one. And that one appears to be fine as well. If not, then I could have used this brush. It's a trombone brush that you can push in from the top, and you only then push it down. Let's see if I can film that. Yes, so now it's going in. And then there's a valve in there. So you can push it down, but you shouldn't pull it up, just down. So then it passes the valve, and it should appear underneath the car. Over here, you can barely see it, but and now it's your turn. Please let me know what you thought of this inspection and the overall condition of Project Silver Blues. How would you deal with the issues that it has, for example, the rust and the pressure on the crankcase in the engine? I will be looking forward to a next video. Probably I will be cleaning this car because it's very dirty at the moment. When you're working on the car, it's always nicer when that car is already clean. So I will probably take it half apart to clean it all the way. I might even take out the complete dashboard to also clean inside the heater housing, get all the leaves out, etc. So if you're eager to see how that goes, then tune in again next time. Leave your questions and remarks in the comment section below, and I will reply to all of those. So thank you for watching MX-5 Info, and hope to see you again next time. Bye.